For daily grammar today, we are going to talk about subject-verb agreement. I have a chart. It's not a chart. Um, I have an e-visual posted to this. It's e-visual 1.22. And so you can open up that e-visual and you can see what it is I'm referring to, what is it I'm talking about in this particular mini lesson. And so um, we're talking about subject and verb agreement with this whole process. Um, and if you take a look at that chart on subject verb agreement, you'll notice that it says a singular subject takes a singular action verb or the singular form of be. He, she, and it take a singular action verb or the singular form of be. That's confusing. I guarantee you're confused by that. The great thing is that we have examples right next to where it says that on that page that is downloaded and in your assignment that you should be looking at right now, eVisual 1.22. The example shows us that Ms. Walsh sits at her desk. This is also on page 38 in your text, by the way. There's these examples here, not the chart, but the examples. So you can take a look in your book as well and follow along while we're doing this. So Ms. Walsh sits at her desk. Okay? Ms. Walsh doesn't sit at her desk, she sits at her desk. Her office is large. She talks to a mall. It is a good discussion. And so that's what they're talking about when they're talking about the verb form be, to be. Is, and all that, okay? Singular form of the verb, not plural, when it's a singular subject. Now, if we have a plural subject, we're talking about more than one, obviously. Plural means more than one. Singular means one. Single, one, right? Okay. A plural subject, it takes a plural action verb or the plural form of be, to be, it's a verb. We and they take a plural action verb or the plural form of be. Okay, listen carefully to the examples here. The students read. You hear? It's not the students reads, it's the students read. More than one student, they read. It wouldn't be they reads, right? Doesn't sound right. Doesn't even sound right. So, the books are interesting. Not the books is interesting. Nah, sounds weird. If it sounds weird, probably isn't right. The books are interesting. We look at the magazines. Not we looks at the magazines, we look at the magazines. This is from the example. You should be following along. They are in the library. Not they is in the library. They are in the library. Okay? So that's the middle section in that page, that e-visual. And then the bottom, it talks about I and you always take a plural action verb. So for example, I walk to school. Not I walks to school. I walk to school. You eat at noon. Not you eats at noon. You eat at noon. I takes a special form of be. You takes the plural form of be. I am tired. Not I is tired. Not I be tired. I am tired. You are hungry. Not you is hungry. You are hungry. Not you be hungry. You are hungry. Okay, so look at those examples. And then what I'm going to ask you to do, I'm going to ask you to open up another Google Doc within this assignment. You probably have a few Google Docs for this assignment. It's fine. They stay organized that way. I can see them. All that. It's fine. In a separate Google Doc, in this assignment, open it up. And I'm going to ask you to use singular and plural pronouns and nouns to write subjects for 4 sentences. Use the examples that you see here. Okay? So, a singular pronoun, I, me, you, would be a singular pronoun. A plural pronoun, we, they, us, would be a plural. And then use the proper verb agreement for your singular and plural pronouns, and then what I'm going to ask you to do is make sure you share those, and then I'm going to take a look at them and see how you do. And I'm going to ask you to trade. You actually will share that document with a classmate, somebody you trust, who can help you with good decisions. And you're going to trade, and you're going to take a look at each other's, and you're going to complete each other's sentences by using either a verb, by either a form of the verb be or an action verb. And so, so the process is, without a partner, use the singular and plural pronouns and nouns to write sentences, write subjects for 4 sentences. Okay, so just write the subject. And then trade papers, and then complete each other's sentences by using either a form of the verb be or another action verb. Okay? Does that make sense? So, first thing is, just write the simple subject using plural and singular pronouns. Okay? And then trade your paper with somebody else, and then have you take their paper, and then you put in the action part using the verb to be or another action verb, and then they're going to do the same thing with your sentence. And see how many sentences you can get together working in partnerships. So the way to do that in Google Classroom is when you open up, when you create that doc, I can already see it within the assignment. It just automatically generates it. When you do it, you're going to need to actually go up to the share button up on the top right hand side of your Google Doc, and then click in the email address of the partner that you have decided that you're going to work with. And you guys are going to need to figure out who you want to work with as far as partners are concerned. I won't assign that, but do make sure you work with someone. Only one other person. Don't make it like multiple people, because then it just gets far too confusing. Okay? And so there you go. So that is your daily grammar for Monday. Okay? All right. And email me if you have questions. I'm going to be right there. So, okay? All right.